Hello y'all, welcome back. This week I'm going to be taking a different direction than my regular building videos, and I'm going to show you a couple of products that I have inside my bug out bag. I've been doing a lot of research on fire starting. In my bug out bag I always kept like waterproof matches, one of those little lighters that have an arc on it and stuff, just that's windproof and stuff. But after doing more and more research, I wanted to make sure I had different options. So I started looking into ferro rods and how to use them, how to do it. And I bought me a little kind of cheaper one just to practice with, and it was a little difficult to begin with and to start if you don't know how to use it. So I looked at other videos online, and like I said before, they always make it look so easy. So today I'm going to show you a product that I found from a company called Bigfoot Bushcraft, and they have a ferro rod and they had some fire plugs that I'm going to be using. These fire plugs are meant to be used last for 5 minutes. So we're going to test that out, and then we're going to test out their ferro rod. So come and join me and let's see how this goes. And we might be doing a little retakes or whatnot, or trying to get it going, but that's the whole purpose of learning, doing it for the first time. Okay, so hope you enjoy this video. So here's my bug out bag, and in this pocket I carry the ferro rod that I was talking about, and this is it. It's a small ferro rod and it's got a striker, so we'll see how that works. And maybe if that works good and stuff and I learn to use it pretty good, I'll get me like a bigger one, better one maybe. We'll see how that goes. And also I had purchased in a 30 pack, but they sent this little tin, these little fire plugs. And this is kind of what they look like. Little pink plugs, I guess you would say. And they're supposed to last about 5 minutes each, so which is good. And they're supposed to be waterproof and windproof, so once it gets started. So we'll go through that and see how that goes. Okay, so to make sure that we do this right, I'm going to follow the instructions that came with the ferro rod. And here they sent a little card, and I'm going to read it through it. We're going to run our fingers along both sides of the striker and find the raised edge. So here's the striker, and then I can feel the raised edge right here. I don't know if you can see that too well. And then from there, use the raised edge to scrape off a strip of black coating. So I guess there's a coating on top of this striker, I guess for shipping purposes or to keep it, protected and whatnot. And then we're going to strike the exposed metal with the raised edge. So once we scrape that black off, a little bit of that black off, then we're going to strike the metal and cause a spark. And with the fire plug here, they say to kind of cut it, and I use my EDC, my everyday carry knife, and I'll cut this. And from what I understand also is if you cut it in half and use just half of it, it lasts 2.5 minutes, I guess, of the 5 minutes. And you could use that if you want to conserve and if you have dry stuff. But I'm figuring if you have wet stuff that you need to light, I would do the whole 5 minutes to make sure everything gets lit. But if you have dry stuff and just need a quick little spark, a little fire to get going, then I would probably do half of it. And that way you could just save the other half. So then they tell you to peel it and kind of open it up. Don't mind the crazy dogs in the background. So we'll see how that goes. So with this striker, I found that raised edge right here, and I'm going to scrape out some of the black stuff. You can see it kind of scrape the black stuff off, and then I've got some metal exposed there. Let's see if that's enough. So I'm going to just do one quick strike. This little lanyard kind of got in the way. I might take that off eventually if it continues to, or learn how to work with it. And here we go. Oh, if you could see, there was a little spark there. Let's see if we could get this lit. Oh, with that first strike, I was able to light it. Let's see if you could see it. See that? Ooh, that burnt a little. So we're gonna time this. I'm gonna let it go for about 5 minutes and see how long it burns. So we're at about 3.5 minutes and it seems to be still going strong. Okay, so at about 4.5 minutes, a little after, I started seeing it just smoke, and thinking I should have expanded it a little bit more at the beginning, kind of spread it out a little bit more, because I still see like almost a full plug there, but I'm not exactly sure. And also, since I started recording or timing a few seconds after I lit it, it's more closer to the 5 minutes, maybe almost at 5 minutes. Okay, so I had this one soaking for a couple of minutes, so I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take it out and cut it open like we did the other one. Expose the inside. Then I'll probably dip it in water a little bit more. Put it back in some water and let's see how that works. All right, let's try this again. See the spark? It's a matter of aiming also. I'm horrible at aiming, so we'll see. There's a spark. There we go. Took a little bit to light, but it did light after a bit. I ended up exposing more of the little, it's still lit. Well, there you have it. Didn't light after being soaked for so long. Maybe if it just got wet a little. I'm trying to expose more of the little figments in the inside filament. If we can get it lit like that. There we go, finally got it lit, but I had to expose more of the inside, the stuff that wasn't wet, but there it goes. It finally got it lit, so it was still able to be used. A little harder being wet, so we'll see how that goes, and that should last the 5 minutes once it's lit. So remember, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just getting my channel started. After doing research, I found this company and I heard a lot of good reviews from it, so I decided to purchase it. And it seems okay. I'll keep it in my bug out bag, and I might end up looking for a bigger ferro rod later on, but this one worked perfect. It gave me the spark that I needed, and using these fire plugs, it lit up pretty good, so I'd be able to start a fire if I needed to. So there you have it. My first attempt at using a decent ferro rod with the striker that it came with. A lot of times they say you could use a knife if you don't have a striker, but I'll make sure I keep the striker with me. A couple of things I want to point out is, maybe you saw me in the video doing quick strikes like this. You're kind of wasting your time with that. You're not getting enough peel off this bar, off the rod. You need to make sure you're doing long, forceful strikes like this. Okay, of course, when you're doing it, you want to practice it, and it does take a little practice, and there was a little frustration in there because I wasn't getting the right spark that I wanted, so I kept doing this. But if you just take your time, focus, and practice, and just do long strikes, you'll get a better spark. That and the plug that I use that I soaked in water, and even the other one, I was noticing if you open it up more, kind of expose the inside a little bit more, it'll be a better light. The one that was dry lit up pretty quick, and the one that was wet, I needed to open it up a little bit more, and it kind of showed that yes, it's a little waterproof because it didn't allow water to get to the center, so you want to expose that center, more of that center, so it can light up easier. And after doing that another time, it worked for me on the first couple of strikes. So there it is. Just practice with one, get one if you want, try it out yourself. Don't start with a cheapie like I did. It threw me off, in all different directions. Get this one from this company or another one. It doesn't matter, just use it and practice. Don't get frustrated. You're gonna get frustrated, but don't get frustrated on your first go around. Try it, just keep practicing. Remember, long strokes. And if you don't have fire plugs, but I recommend, get some fire plugs, or sometimes I've been told cotton balls with Vaseline on it works also, kind of the same thing. Just get some dry tinder, dry leaves stuff, and then just practice. Take your time, work with it, and only until then, and only until you practice enough, you'll get it where you want to. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something, and I hope it works for you. See you guys next time.